Fuzion here, back with another reaction video. We are going to be reacting to some more Undisputed. I will link the full video down below. Yeah, so they're going to be talking about Russell Westbrook and this Lakers loss last game. Last night, Russ had 14. Anthony Davis scored, I think it's at 3 points in the fourth quarter. LeBron scored 3 in the first half. It was a lot of interesting basketball, I should say, for the Lakers. This is not what you want to see, but I did account for this. I did a video last week. It was the last 6 games on the schedule, and I went ahead and said what happened. I thought that it was that they were going to go 4-2, that they were going to split the games between the Jazz, so they were going to win one Jazz game and lose one Jazz game. And then I said that they were either going to lose to the Clippers or the Suns. So since they lost to the Clippers, I think they have to beat the Suns. You will see Anthony Davis playing better, but this is just you're going to see this happen with this Lakers team. Very inconsistent. Anthony Davis didn't do what he's supposed to do. He shouldn't be having 17 points. He should be he should be getting us 25, 27 a night. LeBron, he had 33, but that's not what his role should be. So I think we got to knock him on that. He did keep us in the game, though, so he can't really be mad. But at the end of the day, you know what the game plan is, and you know. But the Clippers also hit shots. So one thing that we got to do is learn how to defend. I think learning to defend the three, as well as trying to get those jumpers down, will ultimately help us in the playoffs, because that's who we're playing against now. This league is all about hitting threes and hitting jump shots. If you can't defend it, then you're going to lose 9 times out of 10. And when players are hitting jumpers and hitting threes, like Russell Westbrook, he hit a few threes. He went 6 for 12. So that's not what you want to see. Like, we're never going to win games if you have players who aren't great shooters shooting at a great clip. We're not going to win that way. Let's go ahead and see what they got to say.
Jim, before I answer that, today is April 6th, which is my big brother's birthday. And I want to say happy birthday, big brother. You know I love you. A lot of what you see the man before you today is because of his guidance. And I know you're watching the show. You even postponed going out to play golf to watch the show. Oh, so cool. I love you, and happy birthday.
And I worked with your brother at ESPN, and I love him too, and happy birthday, big brother.
You'll love him more than me. Yeah, I think you love me more than you love him.
That's true.
I'll take that.
I'll buy that.
Skip, honestly, I don't think they can get out of the West without Paul George. Playoffs are all about matchup. How well do you match up with someone? Russ got the revenge that he was seeking.
Yeah.
He circled this game probably the moment that, okay, I'm going to the Clippers.
Okay.
He circled that game.
Yep.
Ultimately, Skip, he had scored 10 of his 14 points in the first quarter. 3 of his 4 assists was in the fourth quarter. And when he checked out of the game at 6:47 left in the third, he never saw the floor again. So the question is, how much is he going to play? How much is he going to be allowed to play? That was the question.
I think Russ is good in short spurts. He'll get you some energy. He'll get you some quick buckets. I think 21 minutes is a little low. I would want to see him with 25, 26 maybe. Still play that starting point guard role, but you know, not at the end of the day. Like, the longer he's out there, there's a much bigger chance that he's going to do something stupid. That's just, unfortunately, what Russell Westbrook is as a player. You give him 25, 30 minutes a night. Let him do what he does. He had 14 points in 21 minutes. You could see him, let's say, at 25 minutes, he'll get a extra basket or so. So you can see 16, 17 points from him, about 7 or 8 boards, and assists. That's a solid stat line coming from your starting point guard. And what Shannon said was correct. I don't think without Paul George they can make a push. Paul George is huge on offense, and he's huge on defense. You lost basically 2 players for one. So that's what causes like the issue with losing someone like that. Now, that being said, I think with Paul George, this could be a conference finals team if they continue to play how they are playing. Russ has somewhat, he's got his confidence back. Kawhi is playing well as well. I think the Clippers have a good team all throughout if they are hitting shots. But just like I've said, the Clippers have really, really high highs and really low lows. When they're playing excellent, they are one of the best teams. When they are playing garbage, they're playing like the Rockets. Shout out to Witty Joey. He's a huge Rockets fan.
I've credited Russ and his guidance and having.
And I'm skipping ahead a little bit.
Has helped him a lot.
Do not believe he will get the last laugh.
Okay.
I want to compliment Russell Westbrook for the way he comported himself last night from jump.
Mm-hmm.
That was as mature a performance as I've ever seen from him, because he was clearly on fire with revenge to get even with LeBron for wanting him and then wanting him out of there.
Right.
And Russ had a hard time as a Laker. It was a long, hard run for him. It was a dream come true turned nightmare.
Hard run?
And I did feel for him last night, because he has found a home away from home, still in LA, with the team in the basement, the stepchildren, the Clippers. And yet he channeled his anger from the start. And if we could see the 4 shots he made, he makes these in a row. This man is a poor shooter. This man was.
I couldn't tell.
He came in with 48th and 3-point shooting in the NBA.
Let's go back here real quick. I don't know why he stopped taking the little pull-up, high jump shot mid-range here. That is something that he used to do quite a bit, and it was consistent. He would have maybe 3 of those a game. That's easy 6 points, and that's a good like momentum builder as well. It causes the defense to collapse, and then you got, I think that's Batum there. Batum over here, as well as you got Zubac slashing down, because you know his stupid ass is gonna go up here. Okay, that's what they do, as well as a late closeout from LeBron. I do know that was the plan, is to let Russell Westbrook shoot, but after he hits 3 shots, I think that's when you need to start playing some actual defense on somebody, because it's not like Russ is like the type of player that gets hot. It's the other players around him feed off of that energy. They want Russell Westbrook to play well, so they'll be willing to crash like the boards even harder, or they'll be willing to cut harder for that extra assist for him. That's the type of energy that Russell Westbrook does provide to this team, and I think that the Lakers messed that part up for him, and he's getting back to form now. I'm thinking in the playoffs he's going to have a few games where he gets 25, 30 points a game, because I think this is his way of somewhat getting back at the quote-unquote world, showing that he is still Russell Westbrook of old. Same thing with Kawhi. I think that Kawhi has something to say here. Same thing with Paul George. I think the Clippers have a lot to prove this year, and I think that this is a year that can make a push. Also, this really shook, I feel like this loss will be interesting for the Lakers to take. I think they have been on a high lately. I'm wondering what happens after after this loss. I'm wondering what the next Suns game will be. Will they buckle or will they bounce back? I'm wondering how that's going to be.
This man is a poor shooter. This man was.
I couldn't tell.
He came in ranked out.
Yeah, he ain't missing nothing.
3-point shooting in the NBA.
And those are
and these are we're
good shots that he's taking.
But those 3-point shots, they just took my breath away because, to LeBron's credit, you just ignore. I mean, you give him the Caitlin Clark. You just give him the back of your hand. You don't say shoot those, and then of course he's going to rub it in.
Right.
And he rubbed it in with gestures to LeBron, and I think it didn't sink in for LeBron until halftime.
Yeah.
He is showing me up by showing out. He's showing
I think probably what got LeBron is the pointing at.
Yeah,
you know, he hit the shot.
No, he's doing several gestures at it. Okay. So the point is, Ty Lue is a more seasoned head coach, obviously, than Darvin.
He got a chip.
He's got a chip.
He's been to finals.
Yes, he's been there and done all that.
Played in the NBA.
Highly respected.
That's another one.
Got it. Darvin.
This is a word to the wise. I don't care if on the stat sheet he says he's a bad shooter. If you hit 3 shots in a row, that should tell you that you have to adjust. Go play some defense on that man. And, you know, I don't want to get into like the eye test in basketball. I'm telling you, there will be some sort of video about that at some point, but this just proves about like the eye test. You see these shots he's taking, and he took 2 threes and 2 mid-range to low-range jump shots. Both of these jump shots were good shots, and I wish he would take these more often. And this actually gets me to a Draymond Green conversation. I wish that Draymond Green would develop a sort of mid-range jumper or even a floater from here. I think that would overall help the Warriors, especially since he does get a lot of fast break options. If he can add that floater, then I think that would just overall help. But let's get back to the point. I've been saying that for years, by the way. But let's get back to the point. Russ, him taking great shots, him causing the defense to collapse. And once he starts hitting shots, it does force you to have to defend him. And his strength is, well, actually, his strength is his strength. He will back you down and power through you. He is a great driver. He will finish. He's athletic. Once he is hitting those shots, it will force you to defend him up close, therefore causing him to get more in his bag. I'm hoping, as a basketball fan, as a Russell Westbrook fan, he will watch film and notice that this shot that he has had, that he's always been able to take, that he's always been able to make, that at one point was a bread and butter for him. He will take those shots again, and his confidence will go up. So I think that's what happens when you come to the Lakers as well, is those lights hit different, and it will prove how you will have to see how confident that you really are, as well as playing with LeBron, so that adds another stack to it. I think that's the problem with Anthony Davis, but that's neither here nor there. So let's go ahead and finish this up.
Is a first-year head coach. I think he's doing very well. I know he's had his rotational problems, and Laker Nation takes it.
No disrespect. I don't care about no Bogle. I don't care about Darvin Ham. Ty Lue should have been the coach of the Lakers.
He should have been.
Yeah.
But he is in such control of this team that maybe he can get away with play him early, let him start, hope he can set a tone. But as soon as Russ started to show him in the second quarter, he was turning back into the turnover machine that he has been, leading the league in turnovers per 36 minutes.
Right.
He got to 3 by halftime, and Ty Lue said, you know what? I have seen enough. He shot a second quarter air ball. Ty's like, I've seen enough. He let him have a little bit of run in the third quarter. He did not see the light of play in the fourth quarter. Will Russ sit still for that in playoff series?
No.
Playing first quarter, maybe a little second, maybe a touch in the third, and then sitting in the fourth? Okay, in Lakerland, he would not sit still for that. He made waves.
Well, I think, Skip, I think the thing is he came in and the Lakers came with a different set of expectations.
Yep.
I think his expectations are different for the Clippers, and I think the Clippers' expectations of him are different.
Maybe.
What causes disappointment is expectations. If you don't have any, how are you disappointed, Skip? You didn't get the job when you didn't expect it. If you go, man, that was...
Yeah, he had completely different expectations for the team. So Lakers were trying to make the Russ a third option. He is not a third option. He is not a spot up shooter. He will never be a spot up shooter. He is always. He reminds me of what is his name? It is from an anime where you just gotta let him loose and let. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Bleach or whatever. What Kenpachi Zaraki? You just let him go do whatever the hell he wants, and cause trouble, deal damage, and then let him do that for like 10 minutes to reel him back in. Same thing with Russ. You have to put Russ out there in spurts, when you need energy, when you want to cause issues. Once he starts doing his like little turnover stuff, of course take him out, but that's how you gotta use Russell Westbrook. When you are down by 10, put him in, because he will either I don't think it'll get worse when you're down in the fourth quarter, but his energy would change. I think that energy will push a lot of people to play better, such as Norman Powell. I think he's a perfect example of a role player who needs energy around him to play better. Who else is a better energy guy who is also a threat other than Russell Westbrook? So I think that's a good pickup, as well as he is almost the antithesis of like Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi very like reserved, and Russ, he is not. So yeah.
We'll get this thing, you put on your Sunday clothes, you know you had a great interview, you have an expectation and anticipation that you're going to get the job. And when you don't, you disappointed, you let down. He came to Skip, his dream was to always put on the purple and gold.
It was.
The Laker fans like, oh man, we got Russ, he coming home. And so they're like, okay, we need you to like play like the Russ.
And then it got to the point he's starting to shoot, and they're like,
no. So he goes with lower expectations from himself and from the Clippers.
Good luck.
Yeah, it was an eye-opener for him, I'm sure, this whole Lakers season. So I think that the Clippers are a team to watch in the playoffs. I think it'll be very interesting to watch them like develop. And the Lakers, I don't know, man. Y'all need to. I'm wondering what we do against the Suns. I think that's going to be a very important game for us. I think this should be a statement game for us. I'm just hoping that we can bounce back. I'm hoping that the team doesn't take a hit from this loss. But that's everything. Like, comment, subscribe. I have the link of the video of this video down below, as well as my TikTok and my personal gaming channel. I'll see you guys later. Peace.